Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. Today we're embarking on a journey that I believe will resonate deeply with you, a journey toward breaking free from the habits that hold us back. Whether you're here because you want to stop procrastinating, reduce stress, or simply live with more awareness, this video is designed to guide you gently and compassionately. We all have habits, patterns of behavior that shape our days, our relationships, and ultimately our lives. Some are helpful, others not so much. Maybe you've tried countless times to break a bad habit only to find yourself slipping back into it. Or perhaps you're just beginning to notice how certain behaviors affect your well-being. Wherever you are in this process, know that you're not alone. The truth is, habits are stubborn things. They're like grooves carved into the mind, formed over time through repetition and reinforcement. But here's the good news. These grooves can be reshaped. In this 2-hour exploration, we'll delve into the wisdom of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, 3 profound tools that offer practical solutions for transforming our lives. These teachings aren't about perfection or achieving some lofty ideal. Instead, they invite us to meet ourselves exactly where we are with kindness, curiosity, and patience. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to think about why you do what you do? Why do you reach for your phone the moment you wake up? Why do you snack late at night, even when you're not hungry? Often our actions stem from unconscious triggers, emotions, thoughts, or external cues that push us into autopilot mode. The first step in changing any habit is becoming aware of these triggers. Awareness creates space between impulse and action, giving us the power to choose differently. Throughout this video, we'll explore 10 key chapters, each offering insights and practices you can use immediately. We'll start by understanding the nature of habits themselves, then move on to setting intentions, cultivating mindfulness, and using meditation techniques specifically tailored to habit change. Along the way, we'll embrace Buddhist principles like impermanence, loving kindness, and the middle way, which teach us to approach life with balance and grace. But before we dive in, take a moment to settle into this space. Find a comfortable position, whether you're sitting, lying down, or standing, and take a deep breath in and out. Let go of whatever you were doing before pressing play. This is your time, a sacred pause in the busyness of life, to focus on yourself and your growth. I also want to remind you that there's no pressure here. You don't need to get it right or rush through anything. Growth happens in small, steady steps. So if you feel inspired during this video, jot down a note. If something resonates deeply, pause and reflect on it. And most importantly, give yourself permission to be human, messy, imperfect, and beautifully unique. As we move forward, remember that this isn't just about stopping bad habits. It's about creating a life filled with purpose, peace, and joy. A life where you feel empowered to make choices that align with your highest self. Together, we'll uncover how Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness can support you in this transformation, not as abstract concepts, but as tangible tools you can integrate into your daily routine. So, take another deep breath and let's begin. Chapter 1. Understanding Bad Habits. Habits are fascinating things. On one hand, they keep our lives running smoothly. We brush our teeth without thinking twice, tie our shoes effortlessly, and navigate familiar routes almost automatically. On the other hand, they can trap us in cycles that no longer serve us. Whether it's scrolling endlessly on social media, indulging in unhealthy foods, or engaging in negative self-talk, bad habits often creep into our lives unnoticed until they've taken root. To truly understand bad habits, we need to look at their origins. In Buddhist philosophy, habits arise from samsara, the cycle of suffering driven by attachment, aversion, and ignorance. Think about it. Many of our habits are attempts to avoid discomfort or seek pleasure. We eat junk food because it temporarily satisfies cravings. We procrastinate because starting feels overwhelming. We criticize ourselves because we mistakenly believe it will motivate us to do better. Yet, these behaviors rarely lead to lasting happiness. Instead, they reinforce the very struggles we are trying to escape. One powerful framework for understanding habits comes from modern psychology, which breaks them down into three components: cue, routine, and reward. The cue is the trigger that sets off the habit, the feeling of boredom, the sight of cookies on the counter, or the ping of a notification. The routine is the behavior itself: snacking, checking your phone, or biting your nails. Finally, the reward is the payoff you receive, whether it's a burst of dopamine, a sense of relief, or a temporary distraction. From a Buddhist perspective, this cycle mirrors the concept of craving. Tanha craving pulls us toward objects, experiences, or states of being that we believe will bring satisfaction. But as soon as we attain them, the satisfaction fades, leaving us wanting more. This endless pursuit keeps us trapped in a loop of dissatisfaction. The first step in breaking this cycle is awareness. Without awareness, habits operate in the shadows, invisible yet powerful. When we shine a light on them, however, they lose some of their grip. For example, imagine you have a habit of reaching for your phone every time you feel anxious. If you can pause and recognize the anxiety as the cue, you create an opportunity to respond differently. Perhaps instead of scrolling, you could take 5 mindful breaths or write down your feelings. Over time, this new response becomes the default, replacing the old habit. Awareness also helps us identify the underlying needs driving our habits. Are you eating late at night because you're physically hungry, or because you're lonely, bored, or stressed? By addressing the root cause, we address the symptom. Meditation and mindfulness practices are particularly effective for cultivating this kind of insight. Through observation, we learn to see our habits not as enemies to fight, but as messengers revealing deeper truths about ourselves. Another crucial aspect of understanding bad habits is recognizing their impermanent nature. Nothing stays the same forever, not even deeply ingrained patterns. Just as clouds drift across the sky, habits come and go. What feels impossible to change today may feel effortless tomorrow with consistent effort and compassion. It's also important to approach habit change with realistic expectations. Breaking a habit doesn't happen overnight. Research suggests it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit, though this varies depending on the individual and the complexity of the behavior. Rather than aiming for perfection, celebrate incremental progress. Each small win builds momentum, making the next step easier. Finally, remember that habits exist within a larger context. External factors like environment, relationships, and societal pressures influence our behaviors. For instance, if you're trying to cut back on screen time but everyone around you is glued to their devices, it might feel challenging to stick to your goal. Creating supportive conditions, such as decluttering your space, setting boundaries, or surrounding yourself with encouraging people, can make a world of difference. Understanding bad habits involves examining their triggers, rewards, and underlying motivations while acknowledging their impermanent and malleable nature. With awareness, patience, and intentional action, we can begin to loosen their hold and pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling behaviors. Let's delve deeper into the role of mindfulness in observing habits. Mindfulness teaches us to pay attention to the present moment without judgment. When applied to habits, this means noticing when we're engaging in a behavior without immediately trying to stop it. For example, if you catch yourself snacking late at night, resist the urge to scold yourself. Instead, ask questions. What am I feeling right now? Am I truly hungry, or is this about something else? This non-judgmental curiosity creates space for reflection and choice. Mindfulness also highlights how interconnected our habits are with our thoughts and emotions. Many bad habits stem from unexamined beliefs or unresolved feelings. Someone who overeats might be using food to cope with stress or loneliness. Someone who procrastinates might fear failure or rejection. By shining a light on these connections, we can begin to untangle the web of conditioning that keeps us stuck. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of compassion in this process. Self-compassion allows us to face our habits with gentleness rather than harshness. Imagine speaking to a close friend who's struggling with a similar issue. Would you berate them, or would you offer encouragement and support? Treat yourself with the same kindness. Remember, habits aren't flaws, they're simply learned responses that can be unlearned. Another key insight from Buddhism is the idea of interdependence. Our habits don't exist in isolation. They're influenced by countless factors, including our upbringing, culture, and environment. For example, someone raised in a household where emotional expression was discouraged might develop a habit of suppressing their feelings. Recognizing this interconnectedness helps us approach habit change with humility and openness. It reminds us that transformation isn't just about willpower, it's about creating the right conditions for growth. Breaking bad habits also requires understanding the role of identity. Often our habits are tied to how we see ourselves. If you've always thought of yourself as someone who can't resist sweets, changing that habit might feel daunting. But what if you started identifying as someone who makes healthy choices? Small shifts in self-perception can have a profound impact on behavior. Affirmations, visualization, and journaling are powerful tools for reshaping your identity. Repetition plays a critical role in both forming and breaking habits. Every time you engage in a behavior, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with it. This is why consistency is so important. Even tiny actions repeated daily can rewire your brain over time. For example, if you want to stop mindlessly scrolling through social media, commit to placing your phone out of reach during meals. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but with practice, it will become second nature. Lastly, let's talk about the power of community. While personal effort is essential, having a support system can significantly boost your chances of success. Share your goals with trusted friends or join a group of like-minded individuals. Accountability fosters commitment, and shared experiences provide valuable insights and encouragement. In summary, understanding bad habits is a multifaceted process that involves examining their triggers, rewards, and underlying motivations. It requires awareness, patience, and compassion, as well as a willingness to explore the deeper roots of our behaviors. By integrating mindfulness, Buddhist wisdom, and practical strategies, we can begin to dismantle the patterns that hold us back and create space for new, healthier ways of living. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore how setting clear intentions can further strengthen our resolve to make lasting changes. Chapter 2: Power of Intention. Intention is one of the most powerful forces in shaping our lives. In Buddhism, intention, sadhana, is considered the seed from which all actions grow. It's the invisible thread that connects our thoughts, words, and deeds, guiding us toward either suffering or liberation. When we set a clear, positive intention, we align ourselves with the energy needed to overcome obstacles and create meaningful change. Let's start by understanding what intention really means. At its core, intention is the why behind everything we do. It's the motivation that drives our choices, whether conscious or unconscious. For example, if you're trying to break a bad habit like procrastination, your intention might be to become more productive so you can achieve your goals. If you're working on improving your diet, your intention might be to nourish your body and feel healthier. Without a strong intention, even the best laid plans can falter because there's no deeper purpose fueling them. In Buddhist teachings, intention is closely linked to karma, the law of cause and effect. Every action we take, no matter how small, ripples outward, influencing our future experiences. When our intentions are rooted in greed, hatred, or delusion, they lead to harmful consequences. But when they're grounded in generosity, love, and wisdom, they pave the way for peace and happiness. This doesn't mean we have to be perfect. It simply means being mindful of the motivations behind our actions. Setting an intention isn't about forcing yourself to act a certain way. It's about cultivating a mindset that naturally inclines you toward growth. Think of it as planting a seed in fertile soil. You don't control every aspect of how the plant grows, but by providing the right conditions, sunlight, water, and care, you give it the best chance to thrive. Similarly, a well-crafted intention creates the foundation for transformation. So, how do we harness the power of intention? The first step is clarity. Ask yourself, why do I want to change this habit? What is my ultimate goal? Is it to improve my health, strengthen my relationships, or cultivate inner peace? Whatever your reason, let it be heartfelt and meaningful. A vague intention like "I want to be better" won't carry the same weight as something specific, such as "I want to wake up earlier so I can spend quiet time reflecting and preparing for the day." Once you've identified your why, write it down. Putting your intention into words makes it tangible and reinforces your commitment. You might even create a visual reminder, a sticky note on your mirror, a screensaver on your phone, or a journal entry you revisit daily. These small acts serve as anchors, keeping you connected to your purpose when distractions arise. It's also helpful to frame your intention positively. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, for example, "I don't want to eat junk food," emphasize what you do want. For example, "I choose to nourish my body with wholesome foods." This subtle shift redirects your energy away from resistance and toward creation. It transforms your mindset from one of deprivation to one of abundance. Another key element of intention is alignment. Your actions should reflect your values and aspirations. For instance, if your intention is to live more mindfully, consider how your daily routines support or hinder that goal. Do you rush through meals without savoring the flavors? Do you multitask during conversations instead of listening fully? Aligning your behavior with your intention requires honesty and self-awareness. It may involve making small adjustments, like setting aside dedicated time for meditation or practicing gratitude before bed. Buddhism teaches us that intention isn't static, it evolves over time. As you grow and learn, your reasons for pursuing a particular path may deepen or shift entirely. That's perfectly okay. The important thing is to stay connected to your inner compass, checking in regularly to ensure your actions remain aligned with your highest good. One common misconception about intention is that it guarantees immediate results. While intention sets the direction, patience and persistence are still required to reach the destination. Imagine rowing a boat across a vast lake. Your intention is to arrive at the other side, but you must keep paddling steadily even when progress seems slow. Each stroke brings you closer to your goal, even if you can't see the shore yet. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in sustaining intention. By staying present, you notice when you're veering off course and gently steer yourself back. For example, if your intention is to reduce screen time, mindfulness helps you recognize the urge to pick up your phone and pause before acting. This moment of awareness gives you the opportunity to choose differently, to reach for a book instead, or simply sit quietly. Intention also fosters accountability. When you declare your goals, whether to yourself or others, you create a sense of responsibility. Sharing your intentions with a trusted friend or mentor can provide additional motivation and encouragement. They can celebrate your victories with you and offer guidance when challenges arise. Now, let's explore some practical ways to strengthen your intention. One effective method is visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself succeeding in breaking your habit. Imagine the feelings of pride and accomplishment that come with achieving your goal. Visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experience, making it easier to manifest your desires in reality. Affirmations are another powerful tool. Repeating positive statements like "I am capable of change" or "I choose to live with awareness" reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, these affirmations reshape your subconscious mind, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Journaling is yet another way to deepen your connection to your intention. Write about your progress, challenges, and insights. Reflect on what's working and what needs adjustment. Journaling not only clarifies your thoughts, but also serves as a record of your journey, reminding you of how far you've come. It's worth noting that intention isn't limited to personal goals. It extends to how we interact with the world. In Buddhism, the concept of bodhisattva refers to the altruistic intention to awaken not just for oneself, but for the benefit of all beings. Even if your primary focus is breaking a bad habit, consider how your efforts contribute to the greater good. For example, eating healthier not only improves your well-being, but also reduces your environmental impact. Practicing mindfulness enhances your presence in relationships, fostering deeper connections. Finally, remember that intention is a practice, not a destination. There will be days when you feel fully aligned with your purpose and others when doubt creeps in. On those challenging days, return to your why. Reconnect with the heart-centered reasons that inspired you to embark on this journey in the first place. Trust that each step, no matter how small, moves you closer to where you want to be. In summary, the power of intention lies in its ability to guide and sustain us through the process of change. By setting clear, positive intentions and aligning our actions with our values, we create a roadmap for transformation. Mindfulness, visualization, affirmations, and journaling are practical tools that reinforce our commitment, while compassion and patience remind us to embrace the journey rather than fixate on the outcome. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore how mindfulness, the cornerstone of Buddhist practice, can help us observe our habits with greater awareness and clarity. Chapter 3: Mindfulness, the key to awareness. Mindfulness is the cornerstone of personal transformation, and it holds the key to unlocking profound awareness in our daily lives. At its essence, mindfulness is about being fully present in each moment, without judgment, distraction, or resistance. It's a practice that invites us to step out of autopilot mode and into a state of conscious engagement with ourselves and the world around us. When applied to breaking bad habits, mindfulness becomes an invaluable tool for observing our behaviors, understanding their roots, and creating space for intentional change. To truly grasp the power of mindfulness, we must first understand what it means to be present. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, many of us live in a constant state of mental chatter. Our minds are cluttered with thoughts about the past, regrets, memories, or unresolved issues, and anxieties about the future. Rarely do we inhabit the here and now. This disconnection from the present moment leaves us vulnerable to unconscious habits. Without awareness, we act on autopilot, repeating patterns that no longer serve us. Mindfulness bridges this gap by anchoring us in the present. It teaches us to pay attention to what's happening right now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but this very instant. Whether it's noticing the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body, feeling the texture of a cup in your hands, or simply listening to the sounds around you, mindfulness brings your focus back to the immediate experience. By doing so, it disrupts the automatic flow of habitual thoughts and actions, giving you the opportunity to choose differently. In Buddhist teachings, mindfulness is often referred to as sati, which translates to awareness or recollection. It's one of the central practices of the Eightfold Path, a guide to ethical living and spiritual growth. According to Buddhism, suffering arises when we lose touch with reality, when we cling to fleeting pleasures, resist discomfort, or get lost in delusions. Mindfulness counters these tendencies by grounding us in the truth of the present moment. It helps us see things as they really are, rather than through the lens of fear, desire, or distortion. Let's explore how mindfulness applies specifically to breaking bad habits. Habits thrive in the shadows of unawareness. They operate below the surface, driven by triggers and rewards that we rarely question. Mindfulness shines a light on this process, allowing us to observe our habits without immediately reacting to them. For example, imagine you have a habit of reaching for snacks whenever you feel stressed. A mindful approach would involve pausing to notice the craving as it arises. Instead of instinctively heading to the kitchen, you might ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it hunger, boredom, or something else entirely? This simple act of inquiry interrupts the habitual cycle and opens up space for choice. One of the most beautiful aspects of mindfulness is its non-judgmental quality. When we become aware of our habits, it's easy to fall into self-criticism. We might label ourselves as weak, lazy, or flawed. But mindfulness encourages us to adopt a kinder, more compassionate perspective. Rather than berating ourselves for slipping back into old patterns, we can greet these moments with curiosity and understanding. After all, habits aren't formed overnight, and they won't disappear instantly either. What matters is the willingness to observe and learn. Practicing mindfulness doesn't require any special equipment or elaborate rituals. It's accessible to everyone, regardless of age, background, or experience. One of the simplest ways to cultivate mindfulness is through focused attention on the breath. Breathing is always available to us. It's a constant anchor to the present moment. Whenever you notice your mind wandering, gently bring your focus back to the rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, and the warmth of the breath leaving your body. This practice not only calms the nervous system, but also strengthens your ability to stay grounded. Another powerful technique is body scanning, which involves systematically bringing attention to different parts of your body. Start at the top of your head and slowly move downward, noticing any sensations, tightness, tingling, warmth, or relaxation. Body scanning helps you reconnect with physical sensations that are often overlooked, fostering a deeper sense of embodiment. When you're more attuned to your body, you're less likely to act impulsively on cravings or emotions. Mindful eating is another transformative practice, especially for those struggling with unhealthy dietary habits. Instead of rushing through meals while multitasking, try savoring each bite. Notice the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. Chew slowly and appreciate the nourishment it provides. This not only enhances your enjoyment of eating, but also prevents overindulgence by giving your brain time to register fullness. In addition to formal practices like breathing exercises and body scans, mindfulness can be integrated into everyday activities. Washing dishes, walking, or even brushing your teeth can become opportunities for presence. Pay attention to the details, the temperature of the water, the sound of footsteps, the sensation of the toothbrush against your gums. These seemingly mundane tasks take on new meaning when approached with mindful awareness. Mindfulness also deepens our understanding of the impermanent nature of experience. Everything changes: thoughts, feelings, cravings, and sensations. What feels overwhelming in one moment may dissolve completely in the next. By observing this ebb and flow, we develop resilience and equanimity. We learn to ride the waves of life without clinging to pleasant experiences or resisting unpleasant ones. Another important dimension of mindfulness is its impact on emotional regulation. Many bad habits stem from attempts to escape uncomfortable emotions like sadness, anger, or anxiety. Mindfulness teaches us to sit with these feelings instead of running from them. When you feel upset, try placing a hand over your heart and saying silently, "This is hard, but I'm here for myself." This gesture of self-compassion can soften the intensity of difficult emotions, making them easier to manage. Buddhism emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings, and mindfulness extends this principle to our relationships. When we're fully present with others, we listen more deeply, communicate more clearly, and respond with greater empathy. This shift has ripple effects, improving not only our own well-being but also the quality of our interactions. For instance, if you tend to zone out during conversations, practicing mindful listening can help you break this habit and build stronger connections. It's also worth noting that mindfulness isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice. Like any skill, it requires consistent effort and patience. There will be days when your mind feels restless or resistant, and that's perfectly normal. The goal isn't to achieve a perfect state of calm or concentration, but to show up again and again with openness and curiosity. Over time, mindfulness becomes second nature, a natural way of being rather than something you do. For those new to mindfulness, starting small is key. Begin with just a few minutes of focused attention each day. Gradually increase the duration as you feel more comfortable. You might also experiment with guided meditations, apps, or classes to support your journey. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to practice. What matters is showing up authentically. Finally, let's talk about the broader implications of mindfulness beyond habit change. While breaking bad habits is a significant benefit, mindfulness offers far-reaching benefits for mental, emotional, and physical health. Research shows that regular mindfulness practice reduces stress, improves focus, enhances emotional regulation, and boosts overall well-being. It fosters a sense of inner peace that transcends external circumstances, helping us navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. In summary, mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating awareness and breaking free from unconscious habits. By anchoring ourselves in the present moment, observing our thoughts and actions without judgment, and embracing the impermanence of experience, we create the conditions for lasting change. Techniques like focused breathing, body scanning, and mindful eating provide practical entry points, while compassion and patience sustain the journey. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore meditation techniques specifically designed to support habit change and deepen our connection to mindfulness. Chapter 4: Meditation Techniques for Habit Change. Meditation is one of the most profound tools we have for transforming our lives, and when it comes to breaking bad habits, its potential is limitless. At its core, meditation is about training the mind, cultivating focus, clarity, and awareness so that we can navigate life with greater intention and ease. In the context of habit change, meditation serves as both a mirror and a guide. It reflects our patterns back to us, helping us see them clearly, while also illuminating the path toward healthier, more fulfilling behaviors. To understand how meditation supports habit change, let's first explore what happens in the brain during meditation. Modern neuroscience has shown that regular meditation rewires neural pathways, strengthening areas associated with self-control, emotional regulation, and decision-making. This is particularly relevant for breaking bad habits, because habits are essentially ingrained neural circuits. Every time we engage in a behavior, whether positive or negative, we reinforce the corresponding neural connections. Through meditation, we create new pathways that support the behaviors we want to cultivate, gradually weakening the hold of old ones. One of the simplest yet most effective meditation techniques for habit change is mindfulness meditation. This practice involves focusing on your breath or a specific anchor point, such as the sensation of your feet touching the ground. As thoughts, emotions, or urges arise, and they inevitably will, you acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your attention to the anchor. This process builds what psychologists call response flexibility, the ability to pause before reacting impulsively. For example, if you're trying to quit smoking and feel a craving, mindfulness meditation helps you notice the urge without immediately reaching for a cigarette. Instead, you observe it, allowing it to pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. Another powerful technique is loving-kindness meditation or metta meditation, which originates from Buddhist teachings. Loving-kindness meditation involves directing feelings of compassion and goodwill first toward yourself and then outward to others. This practice is especially helpful for addressing habits rooted in self-criticism or low self-esteem. Many bad habits, such as overeating or procrastination, stem from an underlying sense of inadequacy or harsh inner dialogue. By cultivating self-compassion through loving-kindness meditation, you begin to replace these negative patterns with kindness and understanding. To practice, find a quiet space and silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free from harm." Then extend these wishes to loved ones, acquaintances, and even those who challenge you. Over time, this practice softens the heart and creates a foundation of self-love that supports lasting change. Visualization meditation is another technique that can be incredibly effective for habit change. This involves imagining yourself succeeding in breaking your habit and embodying the person you want to become. Visualization taps into the brain's natural tendency to mimic experiences. When you vividly picture yourself engaging in positive behaviors, your mind begins to perceive them as real possibilities, making it easier to act on them in daily life. For instance, if your goal is to exercise regularly, visualize yourself waking up early, feeling energized, and completing your workout with a sense of accomplishment. Include sensory details, the sound of your footsteps on the pavement, the rhythm of your breathing, the warmth of the sun on your skin. The more vivid the visualization, the stronger its impact. Breath-focused meditation, often referred to as anapanasati in Buddhism, is another cornerstone practice for habit change. This technique involves observing the natural flow of your breath without trying to control it. As you settle into the rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations, you develop a heightened awareness of the present moment. This heightened awareness is crucial for interrupting habitual patterns. For example, if you notice tension building in your body before reaching for a snack, focusing on your breath can help you pause and assess whether you're truly hungry or simply seeking comfort. Breath-focused meditation also calms the nervous system, reducing stress, a common trigger for many bad habits. Body scan meditation complements breath-focused practices by deepening your connection to physical sensations. This technique involves systematically bringing attention to different parts of your body, starting at the top of your head and moving downward. As you scan, notice any areas of tension, discomfort, or relaxation. Body scan meditation is particularly useful for identifying physical cues associated with cravings or urges. For example, you might discover that stress manifests as tightness in your shoulders or that boredom feels like restlessness in your legs. By becoming attuned to these signals, you can address the root causes of your habits rather than merely treating their symptoms. Mantra meditation offers another avenue for transformation. In this practice, you repeat a word, phrase, or sound, either silently or aloud, to focus the mind and cultivate positive qualities. Mantras can be tailored to your specific goals. For instance, if you're working on overcoming procrastination, you might use a mantra like, "I am capable and committed." Repeating this affirmation during meditation reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, the mantra becomes embedded in your subconscious, influencing your thoughts and actions throughout the day. Walking meditation is a dynamic form of meditation that integrates movement with mindfulness. Unlike seated meditation, walking meditation allows you to engage with your surroundings while maintaining focus on the present moment. Pay attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the movement of your body. Walking meditation is particularly beneficial for habits tied to restlessness or fidgeting, such as nail biting or excessive phone use. By channeling nervous energy into mindful movement, you create a healthier outlet for tension. For those struggling with deeply ingrained habits, forgiveness meditation can be transformative. This practice involves acknowledging past mistakes or regrets and offering yourself forgiveness. Many bad habits are attempts to cope with unresolved guilt or shame. By releasing these burdens, you free yourself to move forward with clarity and purpose. To practice forgiveness meditation, sit quietly and reflect on any regrets you may have. Silently say to yourself, "I forgive myself for my mistakes. I am learning and growing every day." Extend this forgiveness to others who may have contributed to your struggles, recognizing that everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have. Guided meditations are an excellent option for beginners or anyone seeking structure and support. These meditations are led by a teacher or recorded voice, providing step-by-step instructions and encouragement. Guided meditations often include elements of visualization, breathwork, and affirmations, making them versatile tools for habit change. There are countless apps and online resources available, offering sessions tailored to specific goals such as reducing anxiety, improving sleep, or building confidence. Meditation also fosters a sense of detachment, which is essential for breaking free from habits driven by attachment or aversion. In Buddhism, attachment refers to clinging to pleasurable experiences, while aversion involves resisting unpleasant ones. Both tendencies keep us trapped in cycles of craving and avoidance. Through meditation, we learn to observe our desires and fears without being controlled by them. We recognize that all experiences, whether pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, are temporary. This insight reduces the power of cravings and urges, enabling us to respond with greater wisdom and balance. It's important to note that meditation doesn't eliminate challenges or make habits disappear overnight. Instead, it equips us with the tools to navigate difficulties with grace and resilience. Cravings will still arise, setbacks will occur, and moments of doubt will surface. But meditation teaches us to meet these experiences with curiosity rather than resistance. Each time we sit down to meditate, we strengthen our capacity to stay present, no matter what arises. Consistency is key when it comes to reaping the benefits of meditation. Even short daily sessions can yield significant results over time. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes a day, gradually increasing the duration as you feel more comfortable. Choose a time and place where you're unlikely to be disturbed and establish a routine that works for you. Some people prefer meditating first thing in the morning to set a positive tone for the day, while others find evening sessions help them unwind and reflect. Experiment until you discover what feels most sustainable. In addition to formal meditation practices, informal mindfulness exercises can complement your efforts. Activities like mindful journaling, coloring, or even mindful listening to music can enhance your ability to stay present. These practices reinforce the skills you develop during meditation, creating a seamless integration of mindfulness into your daily life. Finally, let's consider the ripple effects of meditation beyond habit change. While the immediate goal may be to stop a specific behavior, the long-term benefits extend far beyond that. Regular meditation improves overall well-being, fostering a sense of peace, joy, and connection. It enhances relationships by promoting empathy and active listening. It boosts cognitive function, creativity, and problem-solving abilities. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds us of our inherent worthiness and potential for growth. In summary, meditation is a multifaceted practice that supports habit change on multiple levels. From mindfulness and loving-kindness to visualization and breathwork, each technique offers unique insights and tools for transformation. By committing to a consistent meditation practice, you not only break free from limiting patterns, but also cultivate a deeper relationship with yourself and the world around you. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore the Buddhist principle of impermanence and how embracing this concept can further empower you to release unhelpful habits. Chapter 5. Embracing Impermanence. Impermanence is one of the most profound teachings in Buddhism, and it holds a key to unlocking freedom from the habits that bind us. Known as anicca in Pali, impermanence reminds us that nothing lasts forever, not our thoughts, emotions, sensations, or even the world itself. This simple yet transformative truth has the power to shift how we relate to our habits, challenges, and lives as a whole. When we embrace impermanence, we begin to see that everything arises, exists, and passes away, including the very habits we're working so hard to change. To truly understand impermanence, let's start by reflecting on its presence in everyday life. Think about the seasons, how they transition seamlessly from spring to summer, fall to winter. Consider your own body, which grows, ages, and transforms over time. Even within a single day, countless things are constantly changing. The weather shifts, moods fluctuate, and circumstances evolve. Yet despite this undeniable reality, we often cling to the illusion of permanence. We expect happiness to last indefinitely when it arises, dread discomfort as though it will never end, and resist change as if stability were guaranteed. This resistance creates suffering, keeping us trapped in cycles of craving and aversion. In the context of habit change, impermanence offers a powerful perspective. Many bad habits stem from attempts to control or escape from what feels permanent. For example, someone who overeats might be trying to prolong the fleeting pleasure of indulgence. Someone who procrastinates might be avoiding the discomfort of starting a task, believing it will always feel overwhelming. By recognizing that all experiences, whether pleasurable or painful, are temporary, we loosen our grip on these patterns. Instead of clinging to distractions or resisting challenges, we learn to flow with life's natural rhythm. One way to deepen our understanding of impermanence is through direct observation. Take a moment to notice the sensations in your body right now. Are they exactly the same as they were 5 minutes ago? Or consider your thoughts. How many have come and gone since you began reading this chapter? Even something as seemingly stable as a mountain is subject to erosion, wind, and time. Everything is in flux, constantly moving and transforming. This awareness helps us release attachment to outcomes and expectations, allowing us to meet each moment with openness and curiosity. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises when we fail to accept impermanence. When we cling to pleasant experiences hoping they'll never end, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Similarly, when we resist unpleasant experiences wishing them away, we amplify their intensity. Meditation and mindfulness practices train us to observe these fluctuations without judgment, cultivating equanimity, a balanced state of mind that neither clings nor resists. Equanimity allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease, reducing the pull of habitual reactions. Let's explore how embracing impermanence can specifically support habit change. Imagine you're trying to quit smoking, but cravings keep arising. Instead of seeing these cravings as permanent obstacles, view them as passing clouds. They may feel intense in the moment, but like any sensation, they will eventually fade. By reminding yourself that this too shall pass, you create space between the urge and your response. This space gives you the freedom to choose differently, to breathe deeply, distract yourself, or engage in another activity until the craving subsides. Another practical application of impermanence is reframing setbacks. It's easy to get discouraged when old habits resurface, interpreting them as failures or signs of weakness. But through the lens of impermanence, setbacks become opportunities for growth. Just as storms give way to sunshine, moments of struggle pave the way for progress. Each slip-up is temporary. What matters is your willingness to return to your intention and continue moving forward. Impermanence also invites us to let go of rigid identities tied to our habits. If you've always thought of yourself as someone who can't resist sweets or always procrastinates, those labels can feel like fixed truths. But impermanence reminds us that identity is fluid. You aren't defined by your past actions or current struggles. With consistent effort and compassion, you can rewrite your story and step into a new version of yourself, one who chooses wisely and acts intentionally. The concept of impermanence extends beyond individual habits to encompass larger aspects of life. Our relationships, careers, health, and environments are all subject to change. While this can feel unsettling at times, it's also incredibly liberating. Knowing that nothing stays the same encourages us to cherish the present moment and make the most of what we have. It inspires us to live authentically, pursuing what truly matters, rather than getting stuck in routines or fears. Mindfulness meditation is an excellent practice for deepening your connection to impermanence. As you sit quietly and observe your breath, thoughts, and bodily sensations, you witness firsthand the transient nature of experience. One moment your mind is calm and focused, the next it's scattered and restless. These fluctuations teach you to hold experiences lightly, neither clinging to nor rejecting them. Over time, this attitude permeates other areas of your life, helping you approach challenges with greater flexibility and grace. Nature provides countless reminders of impermanence, making it a valuable teacher. Spend time outdoors observing the cycles of growth and decay, the blooming of flowers, the falling of leaves, the rising and setting of the sun. Notice how rivers carve paths through mountains, how trees bend with the wind, and how storms clear to reveal blue skies. Nature embodies the principle of impermanence, demonstrating that change is not only inevitable but beautiful and necessary for renewal. Art and literature also celebrate impermanence, offering rich sources of inspiration. Poets like Rumi and Mary Oliver reflect on the fleetingness of life, while visual artists capture moments of beauty that evoke a sense of transience. Engaging with these works can deepen your appreciation for impermanence and remind you to savor the present. In addition to philosophical insights, impermanence has practical implications for daily living. For instance, knowing that negative emotions are temporary makes it easier to tolerate them. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, sadness, or frustration, you can acknowledge their presence and trust that they will pass. This patience reduces the likelihood of falling back into old coping mechanisms like avoidance or self-criticism. Impermanence also fosters gratitude by highlighting the preciousness of each moment. When we realize that nothing lasts forever, we're more likely to appreciate what we have while we have it. Gratitude, in turn, supports habit change by shifting our focus from lack to abundance. For example, instead of fixating on the foods you're cutting out of your diet, you might express gratitude for the nourishing meals you're enjoying. This positive mindset reinforces healthier choices and strengthens your resolve. For those struggling with fear of failure or perfectionism, impermanence offers reassurance. Mistakes and imperfections are part of the human experience, and they too will pass. What seems insurmountable today may feel manageable tomorrow. Trusting in the process of change allows you to take risks, experiment, and learn without being paralyzed by the need for certainty or control. Finally, embracing impermanence encourages us to live with purpose and intention. When we recognize that time is finite, we prioritize what truly matters: relationships, passions, values, and let go of distractions. This clarity fuels motivation and resilience, empowering us to break free from habits that no longer serve us. In summary, impermanence is a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom and a powerful ally in breaking bad habits. By acknowledging the transient nature of all experiences, we cultivate equanimity, reduce resistance, and open ourselves to transformation. Whether through mindfulness meditation, observing nature, or reflecting on art and poetry, there are countless ways to connect with this universal truth. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore how letting go of judgment further supports our journey toward lasting change. Chapter 6. Letting go of judgment. Letting go of judgment is a cornerstone of personal transformation and one of the most liberating practices we can adopt on our journey to break bad habits. Judgment, whether directed at ourselves or others, is a heavy burden that weighs us down, keeping us trapped in cycles of guilt, shame, and resistance. It clouds our ability to see clearly, stifles growth, and reinforces the very patterns we're trying to change. By cultivating a mindset of non-judgment, we create space for compassion, curiosity, and lasting change. To understand why judgment is so harmful, let's first examine how it operates in our lives. Human beings are wired to evaluate, to categorize experiences as good or bad, right or wrong, desirable or undesirable. This evaluative tendency served an evolutionary purpose, helping us navigate threats and opportunities in our environment. But in modern life, this same mechanism often backfires, turning inward and outward with harsh criticism. When we judge ourselves for slipping into old habits, we create a narrative of failure that makes it harder to try again. When we judge others for their actions or choices, we reinforce separation and miss opportunities for connection. In Buddhism, judgment is seen as a form of clinging, an attachment to fixed ideas about how things should be. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we resist reality, including the reality of imperfection. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of contradictions. Trying to impose rigid standards onto this fluid landscape only leads to frustration and disappointment. Instead, Buddhism encourages us to meet life with openness and acceptance, embracing its complexity without labeling it as good or bad. Let's explore how judgment affects habit change specifically. Imagine you've set a goal to exercise regularly, but find yourself skipping workouts for several days in a row. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-criticism, "I'm so lazy, I'll never succeed, why bother trying?" you're likely to feel defeated and give up entirely. On the other hand, if you approach the situation with non-judgmental awareness, you might ask yourself, what got in the way? Was I overwhelmed, tired, or simply unmotivated? This compassionate inquiry opens the door to understanding and problem-solving rather than self-punishment. Self-compassion is a powerful antidote to judgment. Coined by psychologist Kristin Neff, self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a close friend. It consists of 3 components: Mindfulness, acknowledging pain without exaggerating or suppressing it. Common humanity, recognizing that everyone struggles. And self-kindness, offering support instead of criticism. When applied to habit change, self-compassion helps us stay motivated, even when progress feels slow or setbacks occur. For example, if you overeat during a stressful day, instead of berating yourself, you might say, "It's okay, everyone has tough days. Tomorrow is a new opportunity to make healthier choices." Mindfulness meditation is a practical tool for cultivating non-judgment. During meditation, thoughts, emotions, and sensations inevitably arise. A common mistake beginners make is judging these experiences, labeling certain thoughts as bad or criticizing themselves for being distracted. However, mindfulness teaches us to observe without evaluation. When a judgmental thought arises, such as "I'm doing this wrong," we acknowledge it gently and return our focus to the breath or anchor point. Over time, this practice builds resilience against the automatic tendency to judge and creates a foundation of unconditional presence. Non-judgment also applies to our relationship with cravings and urges. Many bad habits are driven by intense desires for food, entertainment, validation, or relief from discomfort. When these cravings surface, it's easy to fall into judgment. "I shouldn't want this," "I'm weak for giving in," or "I'll never overcome this." Such thoughts only intensify the craving, creating a vicious cycle. Non-judgment invites us to view cravings with curiosity and detachment, recognizing them as natural temporary phenomena. We can even thank our minds for signaling unmet needs while gently redirecting our attention elsewhere. Another dimension of letting go of judgment is reframing mistakes as learning opportunities. Perfectionism, the relentless pursuit of flawlessness, is a major obstacle to habit change. It sets unrealistic expectations and fosters fear of failure. When we embrace imperfection and release the need to get it right, we allow room for experimentation and growth. For instance, if you slip back into an old habit, instead of viewing it as a failure, consider what insights it offers. Did a particular trigger catch you off guard? Was there a lack of preparation or support? Each setback provides valuable information that can inform future efforts. Judgment extends beyond the personal realm to include how we perceive others. Often our habits are influenced by societal pressures, cultural norms, or comparisons with those around us. We judge ourselves based on external standards, striving to measure up to ideals that may not align with our authentic selves. Letting go of judgment means releasing these comparisons and embracing individuality. Your journey is uniquely yours, shaped by your history, values, and aspirations. There's no need to conform to someone else's definition of success. Practicing non-judgment requires patience and persistence, especially since judgment is deeply ingrained in our conditioning. One helpful technique is to notice when judgment arises and label it neutrally. This is judgment. Simply naming the experience creates distance, allowing you to step back and observe it objectively. You might also experiment with reframing judgmental thoughts into neutral statements. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm terrible at sticking to my goals," rephrase it as, "I'm still learning what works best for me." Loving kindness meditation, which we explored earlier, is another effective practice for softening judgment. By directing compassion toward ourselves and others, we dissolve barriers of criticism and blame. Start by silently repeating phrases like, "May I be free from judgment. May I accept myself exactly as I am." Then extend these wishes outward to loved ones, acquaintances, and even those who challenge you. This practice strengthens empathy and reminds us of our shared humanity. Non-judgment also enhances our ability to celebrate small victories along the way. Habit change is rarely linear. Progress often comes in fits and starts. Celebrating incremental wins, like choosing water over soda or completing a single mindful breath, reinforces positive behaviors without attaching them to rigid outcomes. When we let go of judgment, we learn to appreciate effort and intention, regardless of external results. It's important to note that non-judgment doesn't mean condoning harmful behaviors or ignoring areas for improvement. Rather, it's about approaching challenges with clarity and compassion rather than condemnation. For example, if you recognize a pattern of procrastination, instead of labeling yourself as lazy, you might investigate underlying causes. Are you overwhelmed by the task? Do you doubt your abilities? Addressing these root issues with curiosity and care fosters sustainable change. Another powerful aspect of non-judgment is its impact on relationships. Habits often intersect with social dynamics, peer pressure, family expectations, or workplace culture can influence our behaviors. When we judge others for enabling or triggering our habits, we create tension and resentment. Practicing non-judgment allows us to communicate more effectively, express boundaries respectfully, and seek support without blame. For instance, if a friend repeatedly encourages unhealthy eating habits, instead of reacting with anger, you might calmly explain your goals and ask for their cooperation. Nature serves as a profound teacher of non-judgment. In the natural world, everything exists without hierarchy or moral judgment. A storm isn't bad, nor is sunshine inherently good. They simply are. Observing nature's impartiality reminds us to adopt a similar stance toward our own experiences. Whether it's rain or sunshine, joy or sorrow, success or failure, all are part of the tapestry of life, deserving neither praise nor punishment. Art and literature also reflect the theme of non-judgment, offering inspiration and insight. Poets like Rumi and Mary Oliver write about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, while philosophers like Carl Jung explore the shadow side of personality. Engaging with these works can deepen your understanding of non-duality and encourage you to integrate all aspects of yourself, light and dark, into a cohesive whole. Finally, let's consider the broader implications of non-judgment for well-being. Research shows that practicing self-compassion reduces stress, anxiety, and depression while increasing resilience and happiness. Non-judgment fosters psychological flexibility, enabling us to adapt to changing circumstances with grace and ease. It also promotes authenticity, freeing us from the need to conform to societal expectations or internalize beliefs. When we stop judging ourselves, we unlock creativity, spontaneity, and joy. In summary, letting go of judgment is essential for breaking bad habits and living a more fulfilling life. By cultivating self-compassion, practicing mindfulness, and reframing mistakes as opportunities for growth, we create a supportive environment for transformation. Non-judgment softens the edges of our struggles, reminding us that we are worthy of love and acceptance exactly as we are. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore how building new habits through routine can further solidify our progress and sustain long-term change. Chapter 7. Building new habits through routine. Building new habits is one of the most empowering steps we can take on our journey toward personal transformation. While breaking bad habits requires awareness, intention, and non-judgment, creating positive ones demands consistency, structure, and a thoughtful approach to routine. Routines are the scaffolding upon which new habits are built. They provide stability, predictability, and a sense of accomplishment that reinforces progress. In this chapter, we'll explore how to design routines that support habit formation, integrate mindfulness into daily life, and cultivate lasting change. To understand why routines are so effective, let's first examine their role in shaping behavior. Human beings are creatures of habit. Much of what we do each day happens automatically, driven by ingrained patterns and environmental cues. These automatic behaviors save mental energy, allowing us to focus on more complex tasks. However, they also make it challenging to adopt new practices unless we intentionally create conditions that encourage them. Routines act as anchors, embedding desired behaviors into the fabric of our days until they become second nature. One of the key principles of habit formation is starting small. Many people set ambitious goals only to feel overwhelmed or discouraged when results don't come quickly. Instead of aiming for sweeping changes, begin with tiny, manageable actions that align with your larger aspirations. For example, if you want to develop a meditation practice, commit to sitting quietly for just 2 minutes a day. If you're working on eating healthier, Start by adding 1 serving of vegetables to your meals. Small wins build momentum, making it easier to expand your efforts over time. Consistency is equally important. Research shows that repetition strengthens neural pathways, making behaviors more automatic. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. What matters is showing up regularly, even if it's in small ways. Missing a day here or there won't derail your progress as long as you return to your routine promptly. Think of habit formation like watering a plant. Regular care yields steady growth, while neglect leads to stagnation. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in establishing routines. By bringing awareness to your actions, you ensure that they remain intentional rather than mechanical. For instance, instead of brushing your teeth mindlessly, notice the sensation of the bristles against your gums, the taste of the toothpaste, and the rhythm of your hand movements. This mindful engagement transforms mundane activities into opportunities for presence and reflection. Over time, these moments accumulate, fostering a deeper connection to your daily life. Another powerful strategy for building new habits is linking them to existing ones. Known as habit stacking, this technique involves attaching a new behavior to an established routine. For example, if you already drink coffee every morning, use that time to practice gratitude by listing 3 things you're thankful for. Or if you always walk your dog in the evening, incorporate a brief stretching session afterward. By piggybacking on routines you've already mastered, you reduce the cognitive load required to adopt new behaviors. Environment also plays a significant role in habit formation. Our surroundings shape our choices, often without us realizing it. To support new habits, design your environment in ways that minimize friction and maximize ease. For instance, if you're trying to read more, place a book on your nightstand where you'll see it before bed. If you're cutting back on sugary snacks, keep healthy alternatives visible and accessible. Conversely, remove temptations that might derail your progress. Hide junk food, silence unnecessary notifications, or rearrange furniture to create dedicated spaces for focused work or relaxation. Accountability is another factor that boosts habit adherence. Sharing your goals with someone you trust, a friend, family member, or mentor, creates external motivation and encourages follow-through. You might also join a community of like-minded individuals who share similar aspirations. Group settings foster camaraderie, inspiration, and mutual encouragement, making the process feel less isolating. Even something as simple as tracking your progress in a journal or app can hold you accountable to yourself, providing tangible evidence of your commitment. Morning routines are particularly impactful because they set the tone for the rest of the day. A well-crafted morning ritual primes your mind and body for success, helping you transition smoothly into whatever lies ahead. Consider incorporating elements like hydration, drinking a glass of water upon waking, movement, gentle stretches or yoga, and mindfulness, meditation or breathing exercises. These practices awaken your senses, center your thoughts, and prepare you to face challenges with clarity and calm. Evening routines, on the other hand, help you wind down and reflect on the day. They signal to your brain that it's time to relax, promoting restful sleep and emotional processing. Activities such as journaling, reading, or practicing gratitude can enhance your evening routine. Reflecting on your accomplishments, no matter how small, reinforces positive behaviors and sets the stage for continued growth. Transitions between activities are another opportunity to infuse mindfulness into your day. Often we rush from one task to the next without pausing to reset. By introducing short rituals during these transitions, you create boundaries that allow you to fully engage with each activity. For example, after finishing work, take 5 deep breaths before moving on to household chores or leisure time. This simple act helps you leave behind residual stress and enter the next phase with renewed focus. Celebrating milestones is an essential component of sustaining motivation. As humans, we thrive on recognition and reward. It's part of our psychological wiring. When you achieve a specific goal, whether big or small, acknowledge your effort and dedication. Treat yourself to something meaningful but aligned with your values, such as a relaxing bath, a favorite meal, or quality time with loved ones. Celebration not only reinforces positive behaviors, but also reminds you of your capacity to succeed. Flexibility is equally critical. Life is unpredictable, and rigid adherence to routines can sometimes lead to frustration or burnout. Allow yourself the freedom to adapt when circumstances change. If unexpected events disrupt your schedule, find creative ways to stay connected to your intentions. For instance, if you're traveling and can't stick to your usual workout regimen, explore alternative forms of movement like walking or hotel room yoga. Being adaptable ensures that your habits remain sustainable over the long term. Let's delve deeper into some practical examples of routines tailored to specific goals. Suppose you're working on cultivating mindfulness throughout the day. Your routine might include setting hourly reminders to pause and breathe deeply, practicing mindful eating during meals, and dedicating 10 minutes to meditation before bed. Each of these actions reinforces your commitment to presence and awareness. If your goal is physical fitness, consider designing a routine that incorporates variety and balance. Start with a warm-up, followed by strength training, cardio, and flexibility exercises. Mix up your workouts to prevent boredom and challenge different muscle groups. Pair this routine with proper nutrition, hydration, and recovery practices to optimize performance and longevity. For those focused on creativity, routines can serve as fertile ground for inspiration. Set aside dedicated blocks of time for writing, painting, playing music, or engaging in any artistic pursuit that brings you joy. Create a sacred space free from distractions where you can immerse yourself fully in the process. Over time, these rituals will condition your mind to enter a flow state more easily. Education and learning benefit greatly from structured routines as well. Whether you're studying a new language, mastering a skill, or pursuing formal education, consistency is key. Break larger objectives into smaller, digestible chunks and allocate specific times for study or practice. Use tools like flashcards, quizzes, or spaced repetition software to reinforce retention and understanding. Relationships also flourish when supported by routines. Regular check-ins with partners, friends, or colleagues strengthen bonds and foster open communication. Schedule weekly dinners, monthly outings, or daily conversations to prioritize connection. Expressing appreciation and actively listening during these interactions deepens trust and mutual respect. Nature offers endless opportunities to integrate mindfulness and renewal into your routines. Spend time outdoors gardening, hiking, or simply sitting under a tree. Observe the changing seasons, listen to birdsong, or feel the earth beneath your feet. Nature has a way of grounding us, reminding us of our place within the larger web of life. Art and literature can enrich routines by sparking imagination and introspection. Dedicate time each week to exploring creative works that resonate with you, whether it's poetry, novels, films, or visual art. Reflect on how these pieces inspire or challenge you and consider incorporating their themes into your own life. Finally, let's address the importance of self-care in maintaining healthy routines. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary for sustaining energy, resilience, and overall well-being. Prioritize activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit, such as adequate sleep, balanced nutrition, movement, and relaxation. Listen to your needs and adjust your routines accordingly, ensuring that they remain supportive rather than draining. In summary, building new habits through routine is a dynamic and multifaceted process. By starting small, staying consistent, and leveraging mindfulness, accountability, and environmental design, you create a foundation for lasting change. Morning and evening routines, transitional rituals, and celebrations of progress further reinforce your efforts, while flexibility allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with grace. Whether your goals involve mindfulness, fitness, creativity, education, relationships, or self-care, thoughtful routines provide the structure needed to turn aspirations into reality. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore the Buddhist principle of the middle way and how finding balance supports habit change and overall well-being. Chapter 8. Finding Balance with the Middle Way. The Middle Way is one of the most profound teachings in Buddhism, offering a path of balance and wisdom that can guide us not only in breaking bad habits, but also in living a harmonious, fulfilling life. Rooted in the Buddha's own journey from indulgence in luxury to extreme asceticism before discovering moderation, the Middle Way teaches us to avoid extremes and embrace a balanced approach to all aspects of life. This principle is especially relevant when it comes to habit change, where the temptation to swing between overindulgence and harsh self-discipline often leads to frustration, burnout, or giving up altogether. To truly understand the Middle Way, let's begin by exploring its origins. Before attaining enlightenment, Siddhartha Gautama, the historical Buddha, lived as a prince surrounded by wealth and pleasure. Dissatisfied with his superficial existence, he renounced worldly comforts and embarked on a rigorous path of deprivation, believing that suffering could be transcended through extreme austerity. However, neither indulgence nor asceticism brought him lasting peace. It was only when he adopted a middle path, neither clinging to sensual pleasures nor punishing his body, that he discovered the truth of liberation. The Middle Way became the cornerstone of his teachings, emphasizing moderation, equanimity, and compassion. In modern terms, the Middle Way invites us to find equilibrium between extremes. For example, if you're trying to break a habit like overeating, swinging between binging and complete restriction is unlikely to yield sustainable results. Instead, the Middle Way encourages you to honor your body's needs while setting healthy boundaries. Similarly, if you're working on reducing screen time, imposing rigid rules might lead to rebellion or resentment. A balanced approach allows for flexibility, making it easier to stick to your intentions without feeling deprived. Balance is particularly important when it comes to motivation. Many people fall into the trap of perfectionism, believing that unless they achieve their goals flawlessly, they've failed. This mindset creates immense pressure, leading to anxiety, procrastination, or abandonment of efforts altogether. The Middle Way reminds us that progress doesn't have to be linear or perfect. It's okay to stumble, rest, or adjust your course along the way. What matters is maintaining a steady rhythm of effort and self-compassion. Mindfulness meditation is an excellent practice for cultivating the Middle Way. During meditation, we often encounter two opposing tendencies: the urge to indulge in distractions, thoughts, emotions, sensations, or the desire to suppress them entirely. Neither response serves us well. By observing these experiences with curiosity and non-judgment, we learn to hold them lightly, neither clinging nor resisting. This balanced awareness translates into daily life, helping us navigate challenges with greater ease and clarity. Let's explore how the Middle Way applies specifically to habit change. One common pitfall is setting unrealistic expectations. For instance, someone who wants to exercise regularly might decide to work out for 2 hours every day, only to feel overwhelmed and quit after a week. A more balanced approach would involve starting with shorter sessions, say 15 or 20 minutes, and gradually increasing duration as stamina improves. This incremental strategy honors the body's limits while fostering consistency. Another area where balance is crucial is self-discipline versus self-compassion. Discipline provides structure and accountability, ensuring that we follow through on our commitments. However, excessive discipline can breed rigidity and self-criticism, undermining motivation and joy. Self-compassion, on the other hand, fosters resilience and emotional well-being, but too much leniency risks complacency. The Middle Way integrates both qualities, encouraging us to set firm yet flexible boundaries while treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. The Middle Way also addresses the tension between control and surrender. Many bad habits stem from attempts to micromanage our lives, trying to force outcomes, suppress discomfort, or avoid uncertainty. While some degree of planning and intention is necessary, obsessing over details can backfire, creating stress and resistance. Conversely, complete surrender without effort leaves us passive and directionless. The Middle Way teaches us to act skillfully, taking responsibility for what we can influence while accepting what lies beyond our control. This attitude reduces suffering and empowers us to respond wisely to life's unpredictability. Routine plays a vital role in embodying the middle way. As we discussed in the previous chapter, routines provide stability and structure, anchoring us in consistent behaviors. However, overly rigid routines can stifle creativity and adaptability. The key is designing schedules that support your goals while leaving room for spontaneity and rest. For example, if you're establishing a morning routine, include time for mindfulness, movement, and reflection, but also allow for variations based on your energy levels or circumstances. Flexibility ensures that your routines remain sustainable and enjoyable. Nutrition offers another practical illustration of the middle way. Many diets emphasize either indulgence, eat whatever you want, or restriction, eliminate entire food groups. Both approaches are unsustainable in the long run. A balanced perspective recognizes that food is both nourishment and pleasure. Eating mindfully means savoring flavors, listening to hunger cues, and choosing wholesome options most of the time while allowing occasional treats without guilt. This approach promotes physical health, mental satisfaction, and a positive relationship with food. Sleep is another domain where the middle way proves invaluable. In today's fast-paced world, many people sacrifice rest in pursuit of productivity, believing that pushing through will yield better results. Others retreat into excessive sleep as a form of escape or avoidance. Neither extreme supports optimal functioning. Prioritizing adequate high-quality sleep, typically 7-9 hours per night, restores energy, enhances cognitive performance, and regulates emotions. Creating a bedtime routine that includes relaxation techniques like reading, journaling, or gentle stretching reinforces this balance. Work-life integration exemplifies the middle way's relevance to modern living. Striking a healthy balance between professional responsibilities and personal fulfillment is essential for overall well-being. Overworking leads to burnout, strained relationships, and diminished creativity, while underworking may result in financial instability or lack of purpose. The middle way encourages us to establish clear boundaries, delegate tasks when possible, and carve out time for hobbies, loved ones, and self-care. Mindful scheduling and prioritization help us align our actions with our values, ensuring that both work and leisure contribute meaningfully to our lives. Exercise and movement also benefit from a balanced approach. Some individuals push themselves relentlessly, striving for peak performance at the expense of recovery and enjoyment. Others avoid physical activity altogether, citing lack of time, energy, or interest. The middle way suggests finding forms of movement that resonate with you, whether it's yoga, dancing, hiking, swimming, or simply walking, and incorporating them into your routine in ways that feel natural and sustainable. Listening to your body's signals prevents injury and fosters a lifelong love of fitness. Technology use presents another opportunity to practice the middle way. On one hand, excessive screen time can erode focus, disrupt sleep, and diminish real-world connections. On the other hand, completely disconnecting may feel impractical or isolating in our digital age. A balanced approach involves setting intentional limits, for example, designating tech-free times during meals or before bed, while using technology mindfully to enhance learning, communication, and creativity. Regularly reflecting on how devices impact your well-being helps you make informed choices about their role in your life. Relationships thrive when guided by the middle way. Healthy boundaries are essential for preserving individual autonomy while fostering intimacy and trust. Over-involvement can lead to codependency, resentment, or loss of self, whereas emotional distance may cause loneliness and disconnection. Practicing active listening, expressing gratitude, and addressing conflicts constructively create a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. Balancing independence and interdependence strengthens bonds and enriches shared experiences. Even spiritual practices benefit from the middle way. Some seekers immerse themselves in rituals, dogma, or external achievements, mistaking these for true awakening. Others dismiss spirituality altogether, assuming it's irrelevant or inaccessible. The middle way invites us to explore our inner landscape with humility and curiosity, recognizing that enlightenment isn't a destination but an ongoing process, whether through meditation, prayer, nature immersion, or creative expression. Spiritual practices deepen our connection to ourselves, others, and the universe. Art and literature offer rich metaphors for the middle way. Poets like Rumi and Mary Oliver celebrate the beauty of paradox, reminding us that light and shadow coexist within every moment. Philosophers like Aristotle champion virtue ethics, advocating for the golden mean between excess and deficiency. Engaging with these works inspires us to embrace complexity and seek harmony amidst contradictions. Finally, let's consider the broader implications of the middle way for global issues such as environmental sustainability, social justice, and economic equality. Extremist ideologies, whether rooted in greed, hatred, or ignorance, perpetuate cycles of harm and division. The middle way offers a vision of interconnectedness, urging us to care for ourselves, others, and the planet with wisdom and compassion. By adopting balanced perspectives and collaborative solutions, we address systemic challenges while honoring diverse voices and perspectives. In summary, the middle way is a timeless principle that guides us toward balance, moderation, and harmony in all areas of life. By avoiding extremes and embracing flexibility, we cultivate resilience, joy, and authenticity. Whether applied to habit change, nutrition, sleep, work-life integration, relationships, or spiritual growth, the middle way empowers us to live fully and consciously. As we move into the next chapter, we'll explore the transformative power of gratitude and joy, which further enrich our journey toward lasting well-being. Chapter 9: Cultivating Gratitude and Joy. Gratitude and joy are two of the most powerful forces we can harness to transform our lives, and they play a central role in breaking bad habits while fostering lasting well-being. These qualities are not fleeting emotions reserved for special occasions. They are practices that we can cultivate intentionally day by day, moment by moment. By embracing gratitude and joy, we shift our focus from lack to abundance, from struggle to celebration, and from scarcity to sufficiency. In this chapter, we'll explore how these practices support habit change, enhance mindfulness, and deepen our connection to life's beauty. To begin, let's clarify what gratitude and joy truly mean. Gratitude is the act of recognizing and appreciating the good in our lives, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. It's about acknowledging the blessings already present, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, or the simple pleasure of a cup of tea. Joy, on the other hand, is a profound sense of contentment and delight that arises when we're fully present with life as it unfolds. Unlike happiness, which often depends on external circumstances, joy stems from within, a deep-seated appreciation for existence itself. In Buddhism, gratitude and joy are closely linked to the practice of mudita, or sympathetic joy. Mudita involves rejoicing in the happiness and success of others, even when their achievements seem unrelated to our own. This practice counters envy, comparison, and resentment, fostering a spirit of generosity and interconnectedness. Similarly, gratitude aligns with the Buddhist principle of dana, or giving. When we express gratitude, we acknowledge the countless ways others contribute to our well-being, creating a ripple effect of positivity and reciprocity. Let's explore how gratitude supports habit change specifically. Many bad habits arise from a sense of dissatisfaction or unmet needs. For example, someone who overeats might be seeking comfort or distraction from emotional pain. Someone who procrastinates might feel overwhelmed or unmotivated. By cultivating gratitude, we shift our perspective, focusing on what we do have rather than what we lack. This shift reduces the pull of cravings and urges, making it easier to resist old patterns and embrace healthier behaviors. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to practice gratitude is through journaling. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand or extraordinary. Even small moments like hearing birdsong, receiving a kind word, or completing a task count. Over time, this practice trains your mind to notice the positive aspects of life, rewiring neural pathways associated with negativity bias. Research shows that consistent gratitude journaling increases optimism, improves sleep quality, and enhances overall well-being. Gratitude also strengthens relationships, which are often intertwined with habit change. Expressing appreciation to loved ones fosters trust, empathy, and mutual support. For instance, if a friend encourages you during a challenging workout or helps you stay accountable to your goals, thanking them reinforces the bond between you. Similarly, expressing gratitude to yourself, acknowledging your efforts, resilience, and progress, builds self-esteem and motivation. Self-gratitude reminds us that we're worthy of love and respect, regardless of external outcomes. Another powerful tool for cultivating gratitude is mindfulness meditation. During meditation, bring to mind people, experiences, or things you're grateful for. Visualize them vividly, feeling the warmth of appreciation in your heart. You might silently repeat phrases like, "I am grateful for this moment," "Thank you for the gift of breath," or "I appreciate the beauty around me." This practice not only deepens your connection to gratitude, but also anchors you in the present, where joy naturally arises. Joy complements gratitude by infusing our lives with lightness and wonder. Often we overlook opportunities for joy because we're preoccupied with striving, planning, or worrying. Yet joy is always available if we choose to notice it. The scent of rain, the laughter of children, the colors of a sunset. All these moments carry the potential for bliss if we allow ourselves to savor them. Joy isn't something we need to chase. It's something we can invite into our awareness through mindful presence. Mindful activities are excellent conduits for joy. Engaging fully in tasks like cooking, gardening, painting, or playing music transforms them into meditative practices. Instead of rushing through chores or multitasking during hobbies, slow down and immerse yourself in the details. Notice the textures, sounds, and sensations involved. This deliberate engagement activates the brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals responsible for feelings of happiness and satisfaction. Nature is one of the greatest teachers of joy. Spending time outdoors reconnects us with the rhythms of the earth, reminding us of life's inherent vitality and grace. Whether it's walking barefoot on grass, listening to waves crash against the shore, or watching leaves dance in the wind, nature invites us to marvel at its beauty. Even brief encounters with the natural world can elevate mood, reduce stress, and inspire awe, a close cousin of joy. Art and literature also celebrate joy, offering windows into human experience and creativity. Poets like Mary Oliver and Rumi capture the essence of wonder and delight, while visual artists use color, form, and texture to evoke emotion. Immersing yourself in creative works stimulates imagination and sparks inspiration, encouraging you to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Try reading a poem aloud, visiting an art gallery, or sketching something that brings you joy. It's a reminder that beauty exists everywhere, waiting to be discovered. Celebrating milestones is another way to cultivate joy and reinforce habit change. As humans, we thrive on recognition and reward. It's part of our psychological wiring. When you achieve a specific goal, whether big or small, take time to honor your effort and dedication. Treat yourself to something meaningful but aligned with your values, such as a relaxing bath, a favorite meal, or quality time with loved ones. Celebration not only reinforces positive behaviors, but also reminds you of your capacity to succeed. Let's delve deeper into practical strategies for integrating gratitude and joy into daily life. Start your mornings with a gratitude ritual. Before rising, reflect on 3 things you're thankful for, from the night's rest to the promise of a new day. Pair this reflection with a few mindful breaths, setting an intention to approach the day with openness and curiosity. This simple practice primes your mind for positivity and resilience. During meals, practice mindful eating with a focus on gratitude. Before taking your first bite, Pause to appreciate the journey that brought the food to your plate, the farmers, transporters, cooks, and countless others involved. Choose slowly, savoring flavors and textures, and express silent thanks for the nourishment provided. This practice not only enhances enjoyment but also fosters a deeper connection to the interconnected web of life. Evening routines offer another opportunity to cultivate gratitude and joy. Before bed, review your day, highlighting moments of beauty, kindness, or accomplishment. Reflect on challenges with compassion, recognizing what they taught you. End with a gratitude statement such as, "I am grateful for today's lessons and tomorrow's possibilities." This ritual promotes restful sleep and emotional processing. Volunteering and acts of service amplify both gratitude and joy. Helping others shifts our attention outward, reminding us of our ability to make a difference, whether it's volunteering at a shelter, mentoring someone, or simply holding the door open for a stranger. Acts of kindness generate a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Studies show that altruism boosts happiness and reduces symptoms of depression, reinforcing the idea that giving is receiving. Music and movement are potent catalysts for joy. Dancing, singing, or playing an instrument releases endorphins, the body's natural mood enhancers. Create playlists filled with uplifting songs, or join group activities like yoga classes or drum circles. Physical expression connects us to our bodies and emotions, facilitating release and renewal. Fostering joy also involves letting go of unnecessary burdens. Clutter, whether physical, mental, or emotional, weighs us down, obscuring our ability to experience lightness and freedom. Declutter your space, simplify your schedule, and clear your mind of toxic thoughts. Minimalism, practiced mindfully, creates room for what truly matters, amplifying joy and clarity. Finally, let's address the relationship between gratitude, joy, and resilience. Life inevitably includes hardships, loss, failure, illness, or uncertainty. While these experiences challenge us, they also provide opportunities for growth and transformation. Practicing gratitude during tough times doesn't mean denying pain or pretending everything is fine. Rather, it means finding pockets of goodness amidst difficulty, however small. A supportive friend, a comforting memory, or a hopeful thought can sustain us through dark periods. Joy too emerges in unexpected places, a shared laugh, a quiet moment of peace, or the realization that we're stronger than we thought. In summary, cultivating gratitude and joy is essential for breaking bad habits and living a fulfilling life. By shifting our focus from lack to abundance, immersing ourselves in mindful presence, and celebrating life's gifts, we create a foundation of positivity and resilience. These practices enrich every aspect of our existence, from personal growth to relationships to global impact. As we move into the final chapter, we'll explore how living mindfully beyond habits allows us to embrace each moment with purpose and grace. Chapter 10: Living Mindfully Beyond Habits. Living mindfully beyond habits is the culmination of our journey, a state of being where mindfulness becomes less about breaking bad habits and more about embracing life in its entirety. It's a shift from seeing mindfulness as a tool for change to recognizing it as a way of life, a lens through which we view every moment with clarity, compassion, and presence. In this final chapter, we'll explore how to carry the lessons of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness into every aspect of your daily existence, transforming not just your habits, but your entire relationship with yourself, others, and the world. To truly live mindfully, we must first understand that mindfulness isn't confined to formal practices like meditation or journaling. While these activities are invaluable, mindfulness extends far beyond them. It's an ongoing awareness that permeates everything you do. Whether you're brushing your teeth, commuting to work, engaging in conversation, or simply sitting quietly, mindfulness invites you to be fully present, noticing the richness of each experience without judgment. This expansive approach allows mindfulness to become a natural part of your life rather than something you do at specific times. One of the most profound aspects of living mindfully is the realization that life itself is the practice. Every interaction, every challenge, every fleeting sensation offers an opportunity to deepen your awareness and connection. For example, washing dishes can transform from a mundane chore into a meditative ritual when you focus on the warmth of the water, the texture of the sponge, and the satisfaction of cleaning. Similarly, walking becomes a sacred act when you pay attention to the rhythm of your steps, the feeling of your feet touching the ground, and the sights and sounds around you. By infusing ordinary moments with mindfulness, you uncover extraordinary beauty. Mindfulness also teaches us to embrace imperfection. Life is inherently messy, unpredictable, and imperfect, and resisting this truth only leads to suffering. Instead of striving for flawless performance in every area, whether it's parenting, working, or pursuing personal goals, we learn to meet ourselves and others with kindness and acceptance. This attitude of non-judgment fosters resilience, enabling us to navigate challenges with greater ease and grace. For instance, if you make a mistake at work, instead of berating yourself, you might reflect on what you've learned and how you can grow. This mindset shifts the focus from failure to growth, creating space for continuous improvement. Let's explore how living mindfully influences relationships, one of the most significant areas of human experience. Mindful communication involves listening deeply, speaking authentically, and responding with empathy. When you're fully present during conversations, you notice subtle cues like tone of voice and body language, and pauses, allowing you to connect more meaningfully. Instead of reacting impulsively to conflict or criticism, you pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully. This approach strengthens bonds, resolves misunderstandings, and fosters mutual respect. Even small acts of kindness, like offering a genuine compliment or holding space for someone's pain, can have a profound impact when done mindfully. Work is another domain where mindfulness transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Many people view their jobs as mere means to an end, focusing solely on tasks, deadlines, and outcomes. However, approaching work mindfully changes this dynamic. By immersing yourself fully in each task, whether it's writing an email, solving a problem, or collaborating with colleagues, you cultivate a sense of flow and purpose. You begin to see your contributions as part of a larger whole, recognizing how your efforts impact others and the world. This perspective reduces stress, enhances creativity, and increases job satisfaction. Self-care is equally enriched by mindfulness. Often self-care is reduced to superficial activities like taking bubble baths or indulging in treats. While these can be enjoyable, true self-care involves nurturing all aspects of your being: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Mindful self-care means tuning into your needs and responding with compassion. If you're feeling tired, rest without guilt. If you're craving movement, stretch or dance freely. If you need solitude, create space for quiet reflection. By honoring your authentic needs, you build a foundation of well-being that supports every area of your life. Nature serves as a powerful reminder of mindful living. Spending time outdoors reconnects us with the rhythms of the earth, grounding us in the present moment. Whether it's watching clouds drift across the sky, feeling the wind against your skin, or listening to birdsong, nature invites us to slow down and appreciate the simplicity of existence. These experiences awaken a sense of awe and wonder, reminding us of our place within the larger web of life. Even brief encounters with nature, like tending to houseplants or gazing at the stars, can inspire gratitude and humility. Art and creativity offer additional avenues for mindful expression. Engaging in creative pursuits, whether it's painting, writing, cooking, or playing music, allows you to channel emotions, ideas, and energy into tangible forms. The process itself becomes a form of meditation, drawing you into the present and fostering a sense of flow. Art also encourages curiosity and experimentation, reminding us that life is a canvas waiting to be explored and shaped. Gratitude and joy, which we explored in the previous chapter, naturally extend into mindful living. As you cultivate these qualities, they become lenses through which you view the world, amplifying positivity and diminishing negativity. For example, when faced with adversity, you might ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How does this challenge strengthen me? What blessings remain despite the difficulty? This reframing shifts your perspective, helping you find meaning even in tough times. Joy too emerges effortlessly when you approach life with openness and wonder, celebrating both the extraordinary and the everyday. Mindful living also encompasses ethical considerations, how we treat ourselves, others, and the planet. Buddhism emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings, urging us to act with wisdom and compassion. This principle applies to everything from consumption habits to social justice advocacy. For instance, adopting sustainable practices like reducing waste, conserving energy, or supporting ethical businesses reflects a commitment to caring for the earth. Standing up for marginalized communities or volunteering your time demonstrates a dedication to collective well-being. By aligning your actions with your values, you contribute to a more just and harmonious world. Balance remains a cornerstone of mindful living, particularly in today's fast-paced society. Striving for equilibrium between rest and activity, solitude and connection, effort and surrender ensures that you maintain vitality and harmony. Overworking leads to burnout, while underworking may result in stagnation. The key is finding a rhythm that honors your unique needs and circumstances. Regularly checking in with yourself through journaling, meditation, or simple reflection helps you stay attuned to your inner guidance, ensuring that you remain aligned with your intentions. Even technology use benefits from mindful integration. Rather than letting devices dominate your attention, set boundaries that prioritize meaningful engagement. Designate tech-free zones or times, such as during meals or before bed, to preserve presence and connection. Use apps and tools intentionally, choosing those that enhance learning, creativity, or communication. Reflect periodically on how technology impacts your well-being, adjusting your habits as needed to maintain balance. The middle way, which we discussed earlier, provides a guiding framework for mindful living. By avoiding extremes and embracing moderation, we navigate life's complexities with wisdom and equanimity. This principle applies to everything from diet and exercise to work-life integration and spiritual growth. Flexibility ensures that we adapt gracefully to changing circumstances, remaining open to none, and so we've reached the end of our journey together, a journey that began with understanding bad habits and unfolded into a tapestry of mindfulness, intention, gratitude, and joy. As we close this chapter, I want to take a moment to reflect on all that we've explored and how it can ripple outward, shaping not only your habits, but your entire life. Breaking bad habits isn't just about changing behaviors, it's about transforming the way you relate to yourself and the world. Through the lens of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, we've uncovered tools that go far deeper than surface-level fixes. These practices invite us to meet life with awareness, compassion, and curiosity, helping us navigate challenges with grace and resilience. They remind us that change is possible, not through force or perfection, but through patience, persistence, and self-kindness. Think back to where you were when you started watching this video. Perhaps you felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of how to move forward. Maybe you doubted your ability to create lasting change. But now, armed with insights from Buddhist philosophy, practical meditation techniques, and strategies for cultivating mindfulness, you have everything you need to begin anew. Change doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds gradually, like the petals of a flower opening to the sun. Trust the process and trust yourself. One of the most beautiful aspects of this journey is its universality. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what challenges you face, these principles apply equally. Whether you're working on breaking a specific habit, improving your relationships, or simply seeking greater peace and fulfillment, mindfulness offers a pathway to transformation. It asks nothing more of you than to show up, to be present, open, and willing to learn. And in doing so, it rewards you with clarity, connection, and joy. As you step away from this video, carry these lessons with you. Not as rigid rules, but as gentle guides. Start small. Set an intention to bring mindfulness into one area of your life today. It could be as simple as savoring your morning coffee, taking 3 deep breaths before responding to a challenging email, or expressing gratitude for someone who brightened your day. Over time, these small acts will accumulate, creating profound shifts in how you experience life. Remember too that setbacks are part of the process. There will be days when old patterns resurface, when doubts creep in, or when progress feels slow. On those days, return to the wisdom of impermanence. This moment will pass. Return to the power of intention. Why did you start this journey in the first place? And return to the practice of self-compassion. You are human, and being human means learning, growing, and evolving over time. I also want to acknowledge the courage it takes to embark on this path. Change requires vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to confront discomfort. By choosing to engage with these teachings, you've already demonstrated remarkable strength. Celebrate that. Honor the effort you've put in thus far, and know that every step forward, no matter how tiny, is worth celebrating. Before we part ways, I'd like to leave you with a final thought. Mindfulness isn't something you achieve. It's a lifelong practice, a continual unfolding of presence and awareness. It's not about arriving at some ideal state of enlightenment or perfection. It's about showing up fully for each moment, exactly as it is. When you embrace this mindset, you discover that life itself becomes the teacher, offering endless opportunities to grow, connect, and thrive. Thank you for joining me here in the Mindful Zone. This space exists because of viewers like you, people who are committed to living with greater awareness, kindness, and purpose. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from its message. Together, we can inspire others to embark on their own journeys of transformation. As you move forward, may you walk gently and kindly through the world. May you find beauty in the ordinary and wonder in the everyday. And may you always remember that within you lies infinite potential for growth, for love, and for peace. Until next time, take care, stay mindful, and know that you are capable of extraordinary things. New possibilities while staying grounded in our core values. Finally, let's consider the broader implications of mindful living for global consciousness. As individuals embody mindfulness, their actions ripple outward, influencing families, communities, and societies. Imagine a world where leaders govern with compassion, businesses operate ethically, and citizens engage with empathy and understanding. Such a vision requires collective effort, starting with individual transformation. By living mindfully, we model behaviors that inspire others, creating a culture of awareness, kindness, and sustainability. In summary, living mindfully beyond habits is about integrating mindfulness into every facet of life, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and connection. By embracing imperfection, nurturing relationships, approaching work with purpose, practicing self-care, and acting ethically, we cultivate a life of depth and meaning. Nature, art, gratitude, joy, balance, and the middle way further enrich this journey, reminding us of life's inherent beauty and interconnectedness. As we conclude this exploration, remember that mindfulness isn't a destination, it's a lifelong practice, a continual unfolding of awareness and presence. Let it guide you as you step forward into each new day, meeting life with an open heart and a curious mind, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and connection. By embracing imperfection, nurturing relationships, approaching work with purpose, practicing self-care, and acting ethically, we cultivate a life of depth and meaning. Nature, art, gratitude, joy, balance, and the middle way further enrich this journey, reminding us of life's inherent beauty and interconnectedness. As we conclude this exploration, remember that mindfulness isn't a destination, it's a lifelong practice, a continual unfolding of awareness and presence. Let it guide you as you step forward into each new day, meeting life with an open heart and a curious mind.